So you think you're ready to buy your first home? Or maybe it's been a while since you bought your first home and maybe you're thinking about upgrading. Well, I have 6 tips for you to help you get ready for the journey. I would say these are tips for first-time home buyers, but I think these are actually things that we should do before we buy or sell our first, second, or maybe even our third home. Buying a home is a huge accomplishment, especially when you're buying your first home. It's an exciting step that you've decided to take. And you've probably been thinking about this and saving up for it for a really long time. But for most first-time home buyers, it can be pretty overwhelming, and you're certainly not alone in this feeling. I could also tell you that even those who have bought their second home may even feel this way. So if you're getting ready to purchase a new home or your first home, here are 6 tips to help you prepare for a successful, less stressed home buying experience. Number 1, figure out what you can afford first. Before you do anything else, it is important to figure out what your budget is looking like. Start by using a mortgage calculator to get kind of a rough estimate of what it'll take to get you into your desired monthly payments. Then meet with a lender to get a more solid understanding of what you can afford. They'll walk you through different loan options, down payment scenarios, which will even help you set more savings goals and also prepare you for other home buying expenses that a lot of times we don't think about when we start searching for a home. For most first-time home buyers, the goal is to find a comfortable monthly payment, and we need to think about including the taxes, HOA fees, and other upkeep fees that go along with owning a home. So when you consider your monthly payment, consider it more than the purchase price of the home. Tip number 2, save for the closing cost. Yes, there's programs out there to help. Yes, sometimes there's sellers' concessions that will help, but you don't want to bank on this. You know that it's just one more thing that you're having to pay for when you're trying to buy a home, but your down payment does not cover the closing cost. So this money must be set aside as well. So you're gonna have your down payment that you're setting aside, and then you're going to save up for those other expenses that come along with. And I know that you're trying to save from any other surprises, but this is gonna help you along the way. Closing costs usually total around 1 to 3% of the purchase price. I typically go on the 3% end just to kind of cover yourself. It includes the appraisal, the transfer fees, loan origination fees, and other costs associated with the transaction. Your lender can give you more specific numbers to know exactly what you need to bring to the closing table. I can help with those estimates, but your lender's gonna have the details. Going new construction, the builders prefer the lender may help cover some of these closing costs. So if you've bought your first home and it was a new home, you may not know what I'm talking about, which is why I said these tips are also for second home buyers. Tip number 3, explore different financing options. Don't wait until you have found your dream home to figure out how you're going to finance it. There's many different options out there that a lender can help you with. The time to explore these different financing options is now while you are preparing for this. There are many loan options out there. It's just a matter of weighing the pros and cons to find out what's going to work best for you. And as a home buyer, you may not have a ton of money set aside for a big down payment, but that doesn't mean that you have to delay home ownership. There are programs out there that allow you to buy with 3% down. There are many other perks with first time home buying where you can take advantage of maybe a down payment assistance program, which means that you really don't have to have anything down. Your lender can help you with this. Some lenders even offer reduced mortgage rates for first time home buyers, but you want to be sure that you're asking the lender to break it all down for each loan in details so that you can compare the apples to apples, and so you're making the best financial decision for you and your family. Number 4, get your credit in check. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe you're one of these people that's been watching your credit score for a really long time. You know what's on it, but your credit is the key factor to your loan approval. The better your credit score, the better the loan terms are going to be. And what you can do to prep for buying your first home, here are a few recommendations. Pay off some of those debts. A great place to start is to get your credit card balances as low as possible. Avoid opening any new credit accounts like a credit card or an auto loan. And avoid any major purchases that increase your outstanding credit balance. I know it's tempting to go out and buy all this new furniture for your soon-to-be new home, but we certainly do not recommend it. You want to hold off until you have the keys in your hand before you start making these financial decisions. The lender's mortgage decision is based on your credit score and your debt-to-income ratio, which is a percentage of your income that goes towards the monthly debt payments. So the higher your credit score and the lower your debt to income ratio, the better your interest rate and financing terms are going to be. You can request a free credit report from one of the 3 main credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. I believe you can do this once a year. I can dig into that a little bit more if you're wanting more information. But review your credit reports and double check that it doesn't have any errors on it, because you want to take care of those errors too. Tip number 5, shop the lenders. Before you shop for your home, you'll want to shop for a lender. Your lender is a partner in this process. They're a partner with you, they're a partner with your real estate agent. Y'all are a team in looking for your future home. Your lender should be one of your most trusted advisors. Get to know them and make sure that they get to know you and your goals too. I've worked with many transactional lenders. Let me tell you, you'll save yourself a whole lot of money and a whole lot of headache by taking time to choose the right lender. It's about the personality, it's about the relationship. One of the things that I tell many of my clients is it's a relationship. It's not a one-time deal. It's going to be a process. It's a journey. So interest rates and closing costs and loan origination fees may vary from lender to lender. So when interviewing lenders, you're going to ask them for the itemized list of loan origination fees and your estimated closing cost. You may find a pretty big difference between the 2 quotes. So make sure you're getting this information, and it's totally okay. Pro tip, all mortgage applications made within a 45-day window will count as just one credit inquiry. So if you're doing all of this in a short time period, it's going to be okay when it comes to your credit report. The government is literally encouraging you to shop lenders. I'm encouraging you to shop lenders. And tip number 6, the 75% rule. Many times and way too often, the first-time home buyers are disappointed that every single house is missing just one thing. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that's just kind of how it works. My rule of thumb, or one of my rules of thumb, I got many of them, is to make sure that the house satisfies at least 75% of your must-haves. Don't budge on these. As for the remaining 25%, you can always update the home over time. I know it might totally stink to live with a house with hideous countertops, but it is worth it to stay in the same school district or live in the same area that's appreciating more quickly. I will also tell you one of the ways that you can work with this 75% rule is make a list of your top 10 things, and then kind of each home you look at, does it cover it? What can you forgive? What can you absolutely not live without? Buying your first home is a big, big deal, but I know you can do it. Follow these steps and you'll be well on your way to becoming a happy first time home buyers. Let's do this.